All right. 1 second. The lady. Wow, excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Wow. Your lunch time is over. Please keep moving. Thank you very much.
Why are you angry in your face?
Wow. Oh, I am angry. Look at you.
I'm smiling. You got anger issues.
I'm smiling.
I swear to God.
Okay.
He's not happy.
Please stay quiet. Please stay quiet. Please stay quiet. Thank you. The lady. Excuse me, sir.
Very happy.
The lady. I know you are happy. No one else is happy. That's the problem. Not that you are. The lady asks an important question. The question that the lady asks. Wow.
You going to
wow.
First class.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm trying to help it.
Thank you.
I'm trying to help it.
Thank you. All right.
Trying to help you, brother.
1 second. The question that the lady asks is, am I saying that every Muslim is a radical?
He's taking it to hell, I swear.
I'll now respond. 2 or 3 minutes.
9-year-old wife.
Honestly speaking, we till date do not know how many Muslims have been radicalized. We don't know. No one. Excuse me, sir. I'll finish and then you see where I'm going. Yeah, sure. Till date, we don't have a proper statistics on how many have been radicalized. We don't have. Our clueless MPs, whereas they could ask.
Mayors are Muslim.
Whereas.
Muslims.
I know.
Oh my God.
You can see the 1 second. Sure.
They're not true statistics, are they? They're coming from a Muslim.
Exactly. No. I'll explain what. Please listen. No problem. What? Excuse me, sir. Whereas. Don't entertain him. That is wasting time.
Where is the Hindu man?
You see, he's confused. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know where he is. I don't know where he is here. My dear friends.
60% Muslim.
So thank you very much. Thank you.
I want to help you to become.
No, don't. Help yourself. Take your medicine, please. Please go to that. Go to that corner, please. Thank you very much. So far, whereas the MPs could ask some sensible question to gather meaningful statistics to find out how many could really be radicalized, they've been wasting time. They've conducted statistics, surveys. Would you believe the kinds of questions they ask? How many feel British? You must be mad to ask that question. Of course they want Britain to become Islamic. And of course, therefore, they will feel British. This is not the question to ask. You see what I'm saying? So far, we don't have official numbers. We have some proxy indicators though. I'll give you some proxy indicators. Number 1, to understand how many possibly are radicalized, we can use some proxy indicators. Excuse me, sir. We can use some proxy indicators. Indicator number 1. Wow.
Word can mean 50 meaning. You know that?
Excuse me, sir.
You Buddha, 1979 Act, Interpretation Act, means 50 meaning of one word.
Sure.
Buddha.
Sure.
Radicalized.
Excuse me, sir,
What
please.
is radicalized?
Proxy.
Define radicalized.
Proxy indicator number 1. Simple question that needs to be asked. How many believe the Holocaust never happened? It's a simple question you could ask a Muslim, and you would be surprised at what you would find when you ask that question. So if any MP watches this, my dear friends, if you want to be any intelligent to find out if a Muslim is radicalized, I will give you questions to ask. Did the Holocaust happen? Despite all available evidence, try and ask this to your neighbors who are Muslims. You would be surprised as to how many go contra evidence to believe that the Holocaust never happened. Indicator number 1. Indicator number 2. In Israel today, the state of Israel became a modern state in 1948. Today, most Muslims accuse the state of Israel of oppression. You know this. and they go on death cult marches. But when did the state of Israel become a state? In 1948. But would you believe, pre-1948, there were terror attacks in Israel for decades on
done by the Polish people, not
Polish people. Terror attacks on the Jews pre-1948. So another simple question to ask. How many of you believe Jews oppress, and that is the root cause of issues today in Israel? And Muslims would take a standard approach, towing the line, they'll accuse the Jews. That's another indicator of brainwashing, proper brainwashing. Point number 3, proxy indicator number 3. Find out, excuse me sir, please. Don't drink alcohol, your Muslims are going to kill you sir, please. Point number 3. Proxy indicator number 3.
They love the Muslims.
Ask Muslims how many find the need to define Islamophobia, while Islamic terrorism is the single most budgeted for security issue in our nation and across many other nations in the West.
Is that why?
Whereas,
Islamophobe? Are you an Islamophobe if you have no religion?
sorry again.
Are you an Islamophobe? If you don't,
There's no such thing.
there isn't. It is.
Exactly. If at all there is an issue with this, if at all the MPs should be spending any money in relation to Islam today, they must be deciding to bin the prevent program, using which they have been terrorizing even Christians, and they should be trying to find out what zero tolerance approach could be taken against Islamic terrorism. They haven't been doing that,
Where is it?
my dear friends.
Where is it?
Instead of doing that, they have been busy spending time in defining this fantasy illusion called Islamophobia. And the third indicator is we should just ask the Muslims, hey, do you think there is a need to define Islamophobia, or do you think there is a need to investigate why Islam results in a monopoly in terms of terrorism, not just in our nation, but across the world?
Do you think that the government should be run by equal religions? You have to say your religious faith.
Sure. All right. The lady's next question, my dear friend. The lady's next question is, should people of different religions take equal opportunity in governing the nation?
I'm worried that the country's going to be run by all Muslims, like the guy said that there's going to be a Muslim mayor.
Sure.
Is that like a very key point? You have to say your religion before you run for government.
Sure.
Is that
Sure. For me,
storyteller. He's a storyteller.
the lady's question is, do I think that there must be equal opportunity in government where non-Muslims also take a part in governing our nation? Well, I disagree. I don't want that. Neither do I want. I do not want anyone who can be properly sectioned as a mentally ill person to be in governance at all. You see what happened to Charlie Kirk in the US just a few days ago. Do I believe lunatics to have rights?
Christian denomination. 45,000.
I think they can have rights as long as they are sectioned and are in an asylum properly.
45,000.
Those who are brainwashed and are delusional should not be governing. My dear friend,
Which one is right?
I'll tell you one important thing. If
which one is right?
anyone compares my glorious Lord Jesus Christ, who gave the very definition of love in human history, to a mafia gang pedophile, a terrorist mafia gang member namely Muhammad of Islam, I think they should be sectioned. And I think they should be confined. We should help them. I am a Christian and therefore I am all up for helping Muslims. But if anyone were to compare Muhammad with anyone other than Hitler, Mussolini,
We only have one.
wow,
That's it.
excuse me, sir. Hitler, Mussolini, or one of these sex maniacs in this world, if you want to compare Muhammad against these, I am all up for it. I'll spend time and effort to help you. But if you compare such a law of the law, messenger of Islam, with my glorious Lord Jesus Christ, I can tell you, you are a textbook example of a delusioned person. If brainwashing has resulted you in being in that state, my dear friends, I am a Christian and I'll help you understand following Islam is a delusion. Following Islam is not merely a delusion, it is a delusion backed by murderous violence and women hatred.
So all people who are Muslim should be condemned. Do you believe also that if you're an atheist, you are equally as bad as someone who is a Muslim because you have no faith at all?
Let me put it this way. I am here as a Christian.
Yeah, and
Sure.
I say atheist. I'm
Sure.
open-minded.
Sure.
To seek answers.
Absolutely.
I'm open to everything.
Sure.
People say it's
Absolutely.
really interesting.
Absolutely. What I would say, I am a Christian. Unlike whoa. Unlike what Islam, unlike what the Quran teaches. Whoa, excuse me, sir. You brought down the IQ level at the park soon after you wandered in. Please, if you please exit that way, thank you very much. Or at least go to the parking space. Thank you. All right, my dear friend, I am a Christian. I don't believe in physical coercion, psychological coercion, or any such coercion for anyone to be a Christian. I don't. I believe in people having freedom to choose. So if you ask me, do I believe if atheists have a space? Everyone has a space. If they are not delusional, they have a space. What I would rather say is, I think there are good reasons as to why you should be a Christian. I can give you reasons, but while you might be, for all that I know, you might have you might have been brought up in a situation where you didn't know about the Bible properly so far. If you went through the educational system here in the UK with the delusional RE, you wouldn't know about the Bible properly. You wouldn't know about Jesus properly. Because what they have done as part of RE in our nation is to make Muhammad look similar to Jesus. They have brought down my precious Lord Jesus all the way down, set up a lift going down 5 floors, brought Muhammad up, and they have somehow given an impression that both are similar. But I'd like to say to you, my dear friend,
But you said that you respect either religion, but not in an extreme way. So in a school, shouldn't they be able to teach every kind of religion? I would say brainwashed with Christianity in school because there was only Christianity. I'm talking about 35 years ago.
Sure.
35 years ago, there was only Christianity taught. There wasn't such thing as a Muslim concept. You learn in RE, you learn a very, very small aspect of other religions. So do you believe that modern day society should be taught every single religion?
Sure.
And not extremism?
According to you.
Or is that wrong? Do you think that everybody should be Christian?
Questions, 2 questions. Should every religion be taught? Should every religion be taught in schools? Yes, they can be. Should everyone be a Christian? Yes, they should. And I'll expand right now. Should every religion be taught in the schools of our nation? I think they should be. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. Well, you should teach what the Bible teaches. You should teach why we believe in the Bible. And then you will learn why Christianity is the only way. Please, by all means, let us teach Islam, which is what I'm doing even here. But make sure you're teaching proper Islam. proper Islam, when you teach in a school, you would be teaching that Islam is terrorism. That's what should be taught. Because that is what is in here.
Islam
If
is
you
all against education, seek knowledge. Islam says seek knowledge.
look at him, what is he saying?
Knowledge.
What is he saying?
Knowledge, you would
He is saying Islam is not against education.
Exactly, seek knowledge.
Exactly.
Says there, seek
Look
knowledge.
at him. He's a prime example of what Islam is. What would Islam do to you?
Do you have a degree? I have a degree.
For those,
Hey, look, the guy is judging.
Yeah, your
I
degree.
have a degree.
Your degree is insanity number 10. That's your degree.
What degree you have?
For all,
Which one do you
for
have?
those,
Degree.
That's what I'm saying. You have Oxford University degree.
for those who are not familiar, for those who are new to Speaker's Corner, my dear friends, would you believe? Would you believe?
People with degree.
My dear friends, would you believe? I am taking a look. My dear friends, this is important.
I'm rejoicing.
I am.
You don't have a degree. You don't have a degree like him. You don't have a degree like him.
He don't have a degree.
He studied. Look, my dear friends, this is very important. The point I'm going to make right now is very important. I am taking, my dear friends, I am taking a look at everyone who is standing around me. And I can tell you very honestly, my dear friends, I do not see a face, apart from maybe that gentleman, who has been at Speaker's Corner for as long as this gentleman. He has been here for decades, would you believe? Would you believe this?
Women have the highest.
We might.
Not even the Christianity.
Decades.
Women the Christianity.
Decades,
Islam gives the highest.
decades at Speaker's Corner, yet what has Islam done to him? Can you see?
What?
So he is a prime example
What?
of a case contradicting his own claim. What did he say earlier? He said earlier, he said earlier that Islam is not against education. He is a prime example to contradict his own claim. Look at him and you will know what Islam does to you.
Nothing.
Whereas the Jews and the Christians have been working hard to advance
Complex changes.
science,
He's angry.
morality, safety, peace, security, charity, every good thing that you can conceivably think of. Whereas the Christians have been spending time,
Teachers.
he has been spending time after his asylum claim was sanctioned to come here and cause confusion.
Go back in the Old Testament.
Look at him, my dear friend. Look at him and leave Islam. Look at him and leave Islam. Yesterday, become a Christian, my dear friends.
Look, he said back off your cunt. He said back off your cunt.
You are a Muslim yourself? Please come here, sir. Are you an intelligent Muslim?
I don't need to because you don't.
I know, but are you an intelligent Muslim? But you are. Whoa, please, that's very brave. Please come. Look, we have an intelligent Muslim. My dear friend. Oh, thank you. I'm really sorry about the delay, but thank you very much. I haven't. Soonish, we'll soonish you. But wait, my dear friends. Out of the ordinary, we have apparently an intelligent Muslim right now at Speaker's Corner. Please come here, sir. My dear intelligent Muslim, please come here. You see? The intelligent Muslim wants me to listen to him.
Order! Order!
What has happened to your intelligence, sir? Please come here.
Order! Order!
What is that?
Order!
You had to what?
I said you don't know what to say.
Order!
Okay, let me ask you a simple question. There are some women in our midst, my dear friends. Simple question in relation to women. Where is one second? Listen. Look at this. Very important. Whoa, 1 second.
Listen.
Yeah, we will see who has biggest shaitan right now. In 2 minutes, we will see. Let's put it this way. If the men are sex maniacs, if the men are sex maniacs and they can't, they would have weird.
You are a Hindu. He said you are a Hindu.
He is a Muslim, so he'll say all sorts of things. Ignore him. The moment he said he's a Muslim, expect anything from him. You see what is happening? If this is your first time, you will see. If you want to see non-violent Islamic comedy show, come to Speaker's Corner. If you want to see violent Islam, go elsewhere. Here, we have comedy shows because the police are around. And they try violence only once in a while. Elsewhere, you find it more frequently. Now, coming to where did that go? Gentlemen go. Okay, so a simple experiment, my dear friends. If men are sex maniacs and they can't
That's why I have more than one wife. If you can handle it.
look at him,
Yeah, what's
It's
wrong?
not-
he's agreeing.
5 wives.
He-
Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5.
At least, if he had listened,
If you're active like me, I'm strong.
at least.
Islam says have 5.
What?
Islam says have 5.
No, at least, my dear friends, if he had listened, he would not prematurely start his confession. He has begun his confessional statement because he did not even care to listen to the question. If only he had cared, he might have been in hiding a bit longer. So I'll ask the question
You
carefully.
have one wife? No. You got one
If
wife.
men are sex maniacs,
Do you have a wife? He's asking, do you have a wife?
yes, I have one precious one. Beautiful. I'm happy with her for until my end of my life. No problem. Lovely.
So to a Muslim, a woman is just a commodity.
Sex object.
Yes.
Not even just a commodity. A commodity, mere commodity, maybe an onion.
Replaceable. Then you can replace it. You can have
More than worse than that. Worse than that.
I don't like that.
You know. For example, a microphone is a commodity.
Right.
According to the Quran, women are not commodities; they are sex objects, which is worse. Not any mere commodity, but what you buy in your sex store, which unfortunately we still have in our nation. Unfortunately, but Muslims should be thronging there. If they knew they existed, who knows? They might be. Now coming to you, my dear friends. No. More important question, my dear friends. More important question right now. If men are sex maniacs, and if they can't look at a woman without without having crazy maniac sex ideas, who's please listen. Excuse me, sir. Don't, please stay quiet. Thank you very much. Please. Who should be confined? Who? If men are sex objects and they can't look at women without having crazy sexual ideas, who should be restrained?
Them.
The men. Whoever has the issue should be refrained.
So we shouldn't walk around with a burqa.
Exactly, my dear friends.
We don't have sex without consent, lady.
Yeah, can't say. So okay, listen, no. Wow. I can read. Wow.
Without the wife.
Okay, no, don't let him ramble on. He'll ramble on any lie that comes through his teeth. No, listen, now, wow. My dear friends, hey, wow.
We ask the wife if she's happy.
My dear friends, please listen.
Why we are allowed to have
If men, the reasoning is simple.
maniac?
The reasoning is simple.
And we ask the person
Justice is simple.
get drunk and
Justice is simple. Respecting women is simple. Whoever has crazy sexual delusion should be put inside a confined space.
what is wrong with
But
sex?
what is the glorious
No.
solution
You are because
that the Quran gives
it's not rising.
for maniac sexual
Because
men?
you know how to chop
Ah.
it. So it's like this. Again.
Wrap the women around. You know Amazon packaging? The Quran,
You know how to chop it, and you think it's like this. That's why. You can't have
Amazon packaging. Worse than that. Only the eyes to be seen. This is height of injustice against women in our nation today.
If you are not circumcised,
Height of injustice against women in our nation today. And we are allowing that to happen. The women in Afghanistan are crying out. The women in Iran are crying out. The women in Pakistan are crying out. Women all over the Islamic heartlands are crying out. But what utter fools have we become? We couldn't even resolve their problems, which is okay, maybe you can excuse us because we are not governing those nations. But whereas the women in Islamic heartlands are crying out, whereas we could not help them, we have become utter fools and we have become the very anti-example for justice and have allowed women to suffer in our nation. My dear friends, by women, clearly I am talking about Islamic women right now. Now,
Also, can I ask you, with your Christian beliefs, do you believe that a woman is someone who is a mother who should say, you would provide as a man?
You would what?
As a man, you're the provider, and a woman should stay at home and be a homemaker.
the Bible.
There's a lot of like suppression in females are kind of disregarded in Muslim faith. So how is your? I know you celebrate women and respect them and everything, but do you also believe that women shouldn't work? A man is a provider. I listened to a podcast with Charlie Kirk, and he kind of says that a woman should never ever pay. The man provides. The man pays for everything. And as a modern woman, I kind of don't agree with that. I respect the guy and I went to his memorial. But as a modern woman who's independent, who owns a business, I like to be equal.
Sure.
How does your beliefs...
Let me respond.
Okay.
Charlie Kirk, marvelous man, unfortunately murdered, and I'm really sorry. His wife, children are suffering, and I froze when I heard of his assassination for about 15 minutes. I could not do. I was about to drive from a car park. I could not move, frozen. Marvelous man. I wish I could have been in his place. That's how much I feel. I am 41. He is 31. A lot younger. I wouldn't mind. And I'm really sorry that this happened to him. Having said that, he's not right. If that's what he said, he's simply not right. He doesn't, in that regard, he clearly doesn't know the Bible. I'll mention a few things of the place of women according to the Bible. You can read Proverbs chapter 31 when you go home, if you have access to internet. Proverbs, I think chapter 31 or 30, I can't remember exactly. It'll actually 31. It'll paint a picture of what the Bible claims as a wise woman. A wise woman, and so you can read that. And you will find out that the woman there was actually a provider for the family. The woman painted there. So if anyone thinks the woman of the Bible is not a provider, she can't work, he is wrong. The Bible doesn't say it. Proverbs chapter 30 or 31 paints a picture, you can read through it, and you would wonder, does the man have to do anything? Because the woman there would do everything. Marvelous. So woman, the Bible is not against the woman being a provider. The Bible is actually for it. Encourages. Point number 1, Proverbs 31. Point number 2, would you believe the number 1 financiers of Jesus' ministry were women? You can read this in the Gospels, where it gives a list of ladies, names of ladies. Mary, different Marys, and so on. A number of names given in the Gospels of women who were in Jesus' team, who were the actual financiers of Jesus' team. How could they be financiers to the men if they could not find money for themselves? See what I'm saying? So you have one example from the Old Testament, one example from the New Testament. The Bible is not against women working. The Bible is all up for it. Having said that, the Bible does say, on top of both men and women taking responsibility to support the family, it also says in terms of other functional requirements, the women are more homemakers. That is true. The men aren't. So there are 2 places where the Bible uses examples of women and men. One place, when it comes to love for children, the Bible uses the example of a mother. What does it say? It says, even if a mother forgets her child, her nursing child, I will not forget you. It doesn't say even if your father forgets the nursing child. You see what I'm saying? For nursing, for loving a child, in an emotional way and so on, you see the mother being painted as the best example, and God only says, I will be like that or better. When it comes to the father, it gives another example. And it says, a father who loves his son chastens him. It doesn't say a mother who loves his son chastens him, but a father who loves his son chastens him. So when it comes to dispassionate chastening, it seems like the Bible sees the men being better, the father being better example. Now, I'm assuming through examples we see around us, even in my family and around us, you can see this happen. Clearly, men and women are not the same. Clearly, they have different strengths, different weaknesses. And the Bible seems to capture this properly. In my mind, this is a good depiction. Both have responsibility. Both are valued for different things.
Trying to get them connected from two different. Yeah, I get what you're
Complementary. Both are needed for the family to run. So, in multiple places in the epistles in New Testament, when the Bible talks about parents versus children, the Bible says, children obey. It doesn't say, children obey your father. Children obey your parents. Both your father and mother. One of the 10 commandments. Honor, not just your father, honor your father and your mother. So the Bible actually puts them on equal footing in many regards, but in some regards it shows specializations, weaknesses and strengths in different areas. And then finally I could say this, and I could honor, Paul argues for it, and in many different places you see this. Despite the fact that the Bible clearly sees differences between men and women, different strengths, different weaknesses, the Bible wants equal honor, equal respect intrinsically.
So with the man and the woman, it's just basically equal.
Equal respect. And so the Bible says, when it comes to heaven, there will be no sex, all will be like angels. And the Bible,
Unite, they will turn into angels. Is that kind of what you're saying?
among angels, there's no
There's no gender.
gender-based agenda. Everyone is depicted as sons of men. There's no gender-based conflict. And here we might have, but in heaven there is not going to be, because all
You always have non-gender.
angels are depicted as men,
Right.
but not in the way of a gender that we see. It's a different paradigm where if everyone is a man,
Right.
you see what I'm saying?
Same as God is referred
Exactly,
to as a man.
exactly.
And it could be
That
it's not neither man or woman. God.
clearly he clearly doesn't have any sexual, any gender-based issue or gender-based attraction or what. Like the Islamic Allah, he does not. Or unlike the Islamic Allah, but in heaven everyone is equal. Men, women, equal. So the Bible captures this. The Bible captures the value of men and women carefully, coherently, meaningfully. So if anyone follows the Bible properly, if he is a husband, he will learn to respect the wife. Right at the point of creation. Exactly. Right at the point of creation, would you believe? I'll tell you how God created. Initially only Adam. But then the Bible says, God said, let me find a helper comparable to the man. Helper comparable. So the lady Eve was meant to even help the man. So in some areas the man needed help, the lady was going to help. You see what I'm saying? So they were created on equal footing.
Wasn't Eve created from
Adam's rib.
So does that make her lesser? of a
Not in God's mind. That would be a misunderstanding. For example, I was...
Muslim? Is that like a Muslim point of view?
Yeah, that's a... For example, I was born of a woman, my mother.
Right, I get you.
Yeah,
Right.
I was born... Am I less intrinsically? No.
Oh, I get you.
As a human being, I am equal in value to my mother. She being my mother, I respect and honor her even above me. You see what I'm saying? But overall, if I am teaching in a church,
Creation is not depicted. It's not.
No, it's just
less than one from the other. Just because.
exactly. The intrinsic value is the same. But what does the Quran say? The Quran is a textbook. Thank you very much. Is a textbook example for inequality. Whereas the men should be restrained if they are indeed sex maniacs, or maybe the Quran is gaslighting all men. If they are indeed sex maniacs, the men should be confined. but rather the women are accused and they are confined. That is abuse. Surah 2, Ayah 2 and 3. Thank you. Surah 2, Ayah 2 and 3. No, not Surah, sorry, 230 maybe. I forget the exact location. I can find out if you like. But the Quran in Surah 2 very clearly says how men should treat women as sex objects. It actually says, treat your women as irrigable land that you go in to irrigate in the way you want. Her desire not accounted for. What you desire is what you do. Quran elsewhere says, if you think that a woman can rebel, then, well, first, warn them, next, cast them off the bed, and finally even beat them. So there are instructions given as to how sex slaves, i.e. women, would be treated in Islam. You can read through the Quran, you will find out that women are really sex slaves and sex slaves alone. That's the problem we have today. But unfortunately, the Muslim women don't even know this properly, most of them. And we should help them out like how we would help drug addicts. Why do we criminalize drugs? We don't look for drug addicts to have freedom to go and have drugs. We don't. We say, look, this is harming you. Even though you want to have it, we will prevent. We're not going to ask you if you like this or not. You see what I'm saying? And we prevent. Likewise, we prevent gambling. We limit gambling. Age-wise, use money spent-wise, and so on. That's how we should treat this issue. The theory is straightforward. Women are abused. There is no point in asking the lady, Islamic lady, who for all that we know, might be speaking under duress. Who knows? If a Muslim... 234. Surah 2. Which one, brother? Surah 2, Ayah 223. Your wives are like farmland to you. Surah 2, earlier I said sex object. Surah 2, Ayah 223. Your wives are like farmland to you. The word wives is there because that's how the Quran abusively, gaslightingly uses the word. Clearly, Islam doesn't make men treat their women as wives. To treat someone as your wife, you need to love her, care for her, treat her like equal. That's not how Muslims do, because that's not how the Quran teaches. Your wives, your sex partner, partners, I should be careful, plural, are like farmland for you. So approach them. This is gaslighting. Consensually it says. But if I read from here, it would not say consensually. Let me read. Your women look at the way in which Muslims lie. Surah 2, Ayah 223. I am reading from the Quran here. I can show you the Arabic if you like. Your women are a tilth for you. A tilth. Cultivatable land. So go to your tilth as you will. And send before you for your souls. And fear Allah. What's the point if you fear Allah? Fear the Mickey Mouse Islamic Allah when you're abusing your ladies. So my dear friend.
So that's rape within marriage. Fear Allah.
Absolutely.
It's allowed because you must allow it because you should be fearful of Allah.
The Islamic Allah.
You must be raped by your husband.
Exactly. The Islamic Allah clearly sanctions rapes.
And that's scary for me as a woman to think that even Sharia law or the Muslim faith is going to take over the country.
Sure.
Where would I be? I'd be
Oh yeah, exactly.
bad,
Absolutely.
And I'm not married, and I'm living a life that I would be condemned.
Sure. Completely agreed. So clearly we can't let our nation become... We are already... But by the way, you say when Sharia law is implemented. Here is where I'm going to throw in a bomb. A bomb. A bomb. Sharia is already here, not among the Muslims alone. Among the Muslims, of course, we hear of the, 30 odd Sharia courts in operation across the UK. But I'm not even talking about that. If they want to mess up their lives, I don't want to say who cares. Of course, we do care. We want to stop that. But the problem I have in mind is a problem which is worse than that. Sharia is implemented amongst non-Muslims today in public.
Banning church bells, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. I'll tell you how. Halal, number one. Everywhere. Economic dominance, number one. Number two. Paint a picture, caricature of Muhammad in the UK at Speaker's Corner. See what happens to you. You know what I'm talking about? Have a picture of Muhammad.
So you say like halal. Would you not eat halal meat because you're a non-Muslim person? When I go to say KFC, unknowingly it's halal meat. Do you not believe that? Would you not eat it because it's deemed religious, or is that irrelevant?
No, my problem is not that it is deemed religious. That's not the problem. Most Muslims are looking at that alone. I couldn't care less. I am a Christian. I could eat from anywhere. My problem is this. Before our eyes right now, economic domination without proper research is beginning to happen, or has already partly happened through this halal meat industry. I know currently there has not been a proper research on how many British non-Muslim farmers, people who are farming animals, have lost out when they haven't been part of a halal network. We still don't know. We have been utter fools in multiple regards, including in this. And I want to do this research at some stage. I've looked at a few gaslighting, cosmetic reports with no data whatsoever to back them up, with some illusional propaganda. We need proper research. I would not be surprised.
Do you find it mad that a big American corporation is feeling they have to use like halal meat? They feel they have to.
It's a fact today. It is a fact today.
It's an American company that's potentially been owned with Christian or Jewish roots, and yet they're almost economically forced to use halal meat.
Yeah. Today, it's a fact, but not properly studied. But it's a fact that many non-Muslims are forced economically to use halal meat. It's a fact. It's a fact. Government institutions are doing this. Schools are using halal meat and halal meat alone. Like I said earlier, no proper research has been done to see how many non-Muslims have been pushed out. We don't know yet. If we study this properly, we might find many horrible stories of precious farmers who have lost out. Better late than never. We should begin doing that now. But
even the food industry has been dominated by Muslim ideology.
Halal meat, number one. Number two, food industry in terms of prepared food, restaurants and so on, clearly dominated without even us studying this properly. I mean, this is where, like I said, we have been fools in multiple ways. It's quite sad. We have been fools in multiple ways. I mean, what level of insanity would it take for our MPs to be spending time today in trying to have consultations on what Islamophobia is? We are mad. I'd much rather say, look, if you continue along this way, we might as well take all the keys of all these asylums and lock ourselves in. What's the point? If you're going to walk around like mentally ill people, doing all sorts of evil things, we might as well lock ourselves in. Better late than never, we wake up. But can I say something, please? And this is why I'm going to you, especially as an atheist, my dear friend. Of course, I'd like to give you any and every response to any and every question you might have. But I really genuinely think that if you've heard or learnt Christianity or about Jesus only through our schools, you might not have had proper education on Christianity, and it gives all sorts of erroneous impressions. People have been arguing that the Bible advances slavery. It does not. Even popular names, American popular figures like Charlie Kirk have been arguing because they haven't read the Bible properly. Unfortunately, they've read maybe 80%. Like I said, if Charlie Kirk had known Proverbs 30 or 31 and the financiers of Jesus being women, he wouldn't have said women can't be working. You see what I'm saying? I'm really sad that I have to be speaking about that now. God, no, of course, through God's grace, neither do I, God, but of course, he is a Christian. The beautiful thing about, you can get your theology wrong, but can be with Jesus, no problem. And it's unfortunate, like I said earlier, the children, 3 years and 1 year, same as my children. And it's unbelievable. I did not expect that to happen. So only good wishes go from me to his family. But there is misinformation about even the Bible. Even among quote unquote conservative leaders. People think Bible advances slavery. No, it does not. People think Bible excuses slavery. No, it does not. At all. If you knew anything about what is referred to as quote unquote slavery in the Bible, it is employment contracts penned in a different way. We have monthly salaries sometimes maybe daily salaries. In the Bible, you have a different frequency of payment, but it is employment based on freedom, rights, good treatment, like how you would respectful treatment and so on. This misunderstanding in terms of how women ought to be treated. The Bible is marvelous. The morality, I can honestly tell you. Here is where, can I please tell you, we have live streams on YouTube. The channel is called Operation Stephen. Operation Stephen with the PH. On Thursdays, live stream, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. London time. Please, if you come along, or if you open any of our videos, you should find email address and mobile WhatsApp number. Please get in touch. Most people here who have learned Christianity through schools here don't know properly. I genuinely think when you go through the Bible, you find perfect morality. You will not be able to question the morality of the Bible. People accuse the Bible of perpetrating violence. No, it does not. Not even the Old Testament. People sometimes say, the Bible's morality is impeccable. I'll bet my life based on that. And I mean it. Impeccable when you know it thoroughly. Number 2, we have evidence and reason why. Only God of the Bible is God. Only God of the Bible is God. We have evidence and reason. So I genuinely would like to commend that to you. So at the end of the day, my dear friend, let me put it this way. The UK, there are some parts of the UK, some people in the UK who have been making sense. But bear in mind, the ones who have been making sense weren't making sense contra Bible, but through the Bible. It's the Christian biblical knowledge which informed our culture, which gave us knowledge and way to pursue knowledge and be reasonable. You see what I'm saying? And it gives freedom. And it gives freedom for people to take their time to being Christians also. And I'd really like, what's your name? Lisa. I'd really like to commend that to you, for you to inquire. So if you come to our live stream or maybe email, we can have a private conversation. I can bring my wife along. We can have a conversation over Zoom or something. If you're shy, or whatever, whichever way it works. I genuinely think when you go through the details I could share with you about Christianity, about Jesus, about the Bible, you will be blown away. Absolutely. I've been a Christian. I'm 41 years of age. I've been a Christian for a very long time. And I can tell you, Jesus is marvelous. The only thing I don't like about him, when I misbehave, he tells me off. When I misbehave with my wife, he tells me off. When I misbehave with my neighbors, he tells me off. And I can genuinely tell you, I have preached at Speaker's Corner for 15 or 18 years or so now. I think in my remembrance, maybe 3 or 4 times, I've said something to a non-Christian and I've really felt sad because God immediately tells me, That's not good. You shouldn't say, I mock people. I pull their legs. But factually, yeah. But but 2 or 3 times I've had my slip-ups. And would you believe, I'm telling you honestly, God immediately, as I was speaking to the people, God said, you shouldn't say that. You are a Christian, you should not. And I had to stop, apologize. That's the only thing I don't like about my God. I'm joking, of course. I do like, because He corrects me. This is why Christians learn, to become better. And now all of us would say, look, it's not our morality, it's Jesus. We know we are wicked and deviant. And the only reason we have any semblance of goodness is because we say we are evil. And so we allow ourselves to be limited and for Jesus to be shown. You see what I'm saying? And so I really commend Jesus to you. Based on evidence, based on morality, I commend Jesus to you.